to another video. In today's video, as you guys can see by the title, we're going to be doing a almost full face of a brand new product. So I'm really excited for today's video. Today we're going to be using the new Ace Beauté Nostalgia palette, which just looks like this. It is so gorgeous, you guys. I cannot wait for you guys to see how this palette actually performed on the eyes. It's honestly absolutely stunning, as you guys can see by my eyes today. Girl, let me save the tea for the video. But besides that, I also did use the Beautē Bright Matte 42 color eyeshadow palette. You guys, this palette is massive and it is so gorgeous. When I saw this on their website, I was like, put it in my cart now. This humongous palette I think is only $20 or $25, which is absolutely insane for the amount of colors that you get in here. Girl, this is literally every shade you could possibly need. You have different shades of purples, pinks, your blues. It is just gorgeous. So I'm really excited to show you guys this palette today as well. And besides that, we're also using the new Urban Decay gripping primer, which I'm really excited for. Also, this one right here, this is the Milk Makeup. This is their Hydro Set Grip Setting Spray, I believe. Yes, their Grip Set and Refresh Setting Spray, and you guys actually just seen me haul this in my most recent Sephora haul, so I'm really excited to be testing that out today. We're also using the new Soul Body Face and Body Bronzing Balm, which I'm really excited for, and a ton of new goodies. I'm using a new blush palette from NARS, as well as the Makeup Forever highlighter that you guys also saw me haul in my Sephora haul. So it is a jam-packed video full of amazing products. I really hope you guys enjoy it. Before we jump into today's video, please don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you guys have not already. And of course, without further ado, if you guys would like to see all these new products in action, then just keep on watching. Hey you guys, so let's jump into today's makeup look. So I did go ahead and prime my eyelids off camera. I just used my usual P. Louise base in the shade Rumor Number 2. And then we're going to be jumping into this gorgeous palette from Ace Beauté. I'm not sure if it's pronounced Nostalgia or Nostalgia palette, but nonetheless, it is so gorgeous, you guys. Super vibrant. Like, these colors are incredible. You definitely have to see them in person, but it's just beautiful. Like, the camera doesn't even do these colors justice. So the first color I'm going to be using is the shade called Raspberry. This is kind of like a purple, like with some pink in there. Very, very unique. All the shades in this palette have a very unique undertone. And basically all I'm doing is taking a tiny fluffy brush and I'm pressing this into the crease as always. Basically my technique is just to build the intensity as much as possible in the shape that I'm going to want the eyeshadow to be. So in this case, it is a rounded shape, which is most of my looks. I just prefer this kind of shape on my eye. So yeah, all I'm doing is just building up that intensity. And then the next shade I'm going to be using is the shade called Flip Flops. You guys, this color is probably my favorite color in this palette. It is so gorgeous. And what I'm going to do with this color is actually take a small fluffy brush and I'm going to work this on that harsh line that we created with the raspberry shade. And this is basically going to start to blend that color out because we don't want it to look so harsh. We want a nice, beautiful blend. So I feel like doing it this way, I'm able to kind of keep the intensity of my eyeshadow there, but it still looks blended, you know? So I did go ahead and do that. And as you guys can see, it's already looking 10 times better just by adding that one shade. So the next color I'm going to be using is the shade called Carnival, which is that beautiful purple, you guys. This color is gorgeous. And basically what I did is I took this on a little tiny detailed brush. So guys, honestly, just windshield wiper motions because this brush does all the work for you. So I just basically placed it where I wanted it, and then I did switch out to a M506 brush from Morphe and just made sure that everything was nice and blended because I did want this color to show, because keep in mind we are going to be cutting the crease. So moving on to the Beautē Bright Matte palette, you guys, this is another gorgeous palette. The first shade I'm going to be using in here is the shade called Tutu, which is a beautiful pink color. And of course, I'm going to be using this to start to blend out that harsh line from the shade Flip Flop. Like I said, this palette is kind of lacking that lighter color, so I did have to dip into another palette just to make sure everything looked nice and blended. But honestly, this color combo, you guys, I am so obsessed. So the next shade I'm going to be using is the shade called Vacation, which is the beautiful orange in here. This is probably my second favorite color in this palette, and I only put this color in the inner part of the crease because I wanted to have that little pop of orange on the crease, but only in the inner part to kind of match with the eyelid, and I felt like this was the perfect way to do that. I didn't want to bring the orange all the way around the outer part of the eye because I wanted to keep that really beautiful flip-flop shade to be like the star of the show. So then I went in with this fluffy brush just to make sure everything was really nice and diffused and blended, and there was absolutely no harsh lines. But of course, with all the blending, you start to lose intensity, so I just went back in with the shade Carnival. Sorry guys, I'm looking at the palette as I'm doing this voiceover. But basically all I'm doing is, now that everything is where it's going to stay, now I can go back and make sure everything is nice and intense and make sure every single color is nice and vibrant, so you're able to see the beautiful shade of every color on its own. So once I went ahead and did that, I did go back in with that tiny detail brush just to make sure that socket of the eye is super intense, because when we go and cut the crease, we want to make sure we see that really beautiful purple. So talking about cutting the crease, I am going to go in with my Q-tips really quickly with some makeup remover. I always use my Garnier micellar water. I didn't show it in today's video because I show it all the time, but I went ahead and did that quickly, and I went ahead and cut my crease off camera quickly because you guys see that often as well. And then for the lid, I'm going back in with the shade Vacation. Now, super important, I did not want to get that orange in the crease whatsoever, so I did go in with this P. Louise brush. This is a super flat definer brush, you guys. The flatness of this brush is insane, but basically what I did is I just rubbed it against that line, but super precisely, and then of course I just took the rest of that shade and just packed it all over the lid. The vibrancy of this orange, you guys, is incredible. So like I said, I put that all over the lid. This really just brought the whole look together. I was so obsessed. And just watching this, isn't it so satisfying? Like, I'm like, wow, you did that. Anyway, so next I'm going to go in with the shade Carnival again. And I'm just going to pack this on the outer corner. I'm not even gonna lie, to blend that orange and purple was very difficult, okay? At first it was looking patchy, and then I had to keep packing on the color, and then we finally got somewhere. So I did decide to put that on the outer corner. I wish there was a shade in this palette that I could have used in between the purple and orange now that I'm looking at today's look, but it is what it is. The look is complete. So then I went ahead and just made sure everything was nice and blended, and that was basically it, you guys. I went ahead and popped on my lashes off camera. So let's move on to the face. Really quickly, I wanted to just tell you guys the lashes that I'm wearing. So I am wearing the Pink Leaf Cosmetic lashes in Weed Queen. I do have a discount code. It will be down below. So moving on to the face makeup, I am going in with the new Urban Decay All Nighter. Basically their dewy gripping primer. You guys, this primer is so amazing. They do have an original gripping primer, but the dewy version is on another level. This primer really did give my skin a beautiful, healthy glow, and the tackiness was amazing. I really did enjoy it. So because we're using a new primer, I wanted to use a foundation that I was familiar with so I can really test out the primer, because if anything went wrong, I knew it would be the primer and not the foundation. So I'm just going in with my Tarte Founcealer foundation in the shade of Medium Neutral, and I'm just using a typical beauty blender to blend that out. So after I went ahead and blended out my foundation, now we can move back into another new product. This is the Soul Body. This is their face and body bronzing cream. I did get mine in the shade Medium. Now, when I got this in the mail, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so dark. It's gonna be way too dark for me. And in this video, like, that was me contemplating, like, girl, do you really want to mess up your foundation right now? And I was like, you know what, let's just try it. You guys, I'm obsessed. I love it so much. The blendability was incredible, and the shade was actually perfect. It comes off way lighter on the skin than it actually looks in the container, and I love it. It's amazing. So moving on to concealer, I'm going to be going in with this new concealer from Makeup Forever. This is their Matte Velvet Skin Concealer. You guys, this concealer was amazing, and I did use mine in the shade 2.3. First of all, when I put this on my skin, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a little bit thick. Like, I don't know how this is going to be, but I definitely could tell just by applying it that it was going to be full coverage. It blends it out so well. This color is perfect for my skin. It gave me the perfect amount of brightness. Guys, honestly, the coverage of this was incredible, and it blended so well. It was so easy to blend, and honestly, it didn't dry too fast, which I really love about a concealer, because I'm able to take my time and really blend it out. So I really was blown away by this concealer. So I did just go in with my normal COLLAB setting powder, because like I said, usually when I try something new, I want to go in with something that I know that works, just in case it doesn't work out. I know it's the product and not my product, if that makes sense. And then I just went ahead and set the rest of my face with my Sephora Micro Smooth Powder. So for bronzer, I am going in with this ColourPop Coconuts bronzer. I'm not sure what the name is, but I'll leave it down below. I've had this in my collection for a while and never got the chance to use it. Now, this bronzer was really beautiful. I actually thought that it wasn't going to show up on my skin because it looks super light, but it was gorgeous. So moving on to this NARS palette. You guys, this palette is so beautiful. I've had my eye on this palette for so long. So happy that I finally picked it up. So basically what I did is I just blended all those shades together and popped it on my cheeks. It was really beautiful and really did give my cheeks a really nice glow without looking sparkly and glittery. It was more of like a healthy glow kind of look. So moving on to highlighter, I'm going in with this new Makeup Forever highlighter. Well, it's new to me. It's not new on the market. But this one is in the shade 01. You guys, this highlighter is gorgeous. It was beaming. I was like, whoa. This is about to be my new favorite highlighter. I'm so obsessed with it. It is so beautiful. It literally melted into the skin. It did not sit on top of the skin. It just looked gorgeous. So of course I went ahead and literally bathed myself in this highlighter. So I put it on my cheeks, my nose, my cupid's bow, the tops of my brows, and that's basically it. Let's go ahead and move back into the lower lash line. For my waterline, I did go in with the LA Girl Shockwave Neon Liner. This is actually a lip liner that I used as an eyeliner, and this one is in the shade Pop. You guys, this color is so beautiful. It's so vibrant and so shocking. These LA Girl Shockwave liners are my absolute fave. So moving back into the Ace Beauty palette, I'm going to be using another shade from the palette. This one is called Picnic. It's literally the same shade as this lip liner that I put in my waterline. It's gorgeous. So I just took a flat definer brush and put that super close to the lower lash line. And then I'm going to be dipping right back into the shade Carnival, which is that beautiful purple. And with that same flat definer brush, I'm also going to press this super close to the lower lash line, because this is going to be the shade on the lower lash line that's going to give us really nice definition and intensity. And then of course, you guys already know I have to go back into that shade Flip Flop, because anytime I do a colorful look, my lower lashes have to somehow match the top of my eyelid. I don't know why. I just need to have it match. One color has to be the same. So then I did go back in with the shade Vacation and put that just in the inner part of my eye. Added a little bit more Carnival because it kind of got lost. And then I went back into the Beauty Bay palette and I'm using the shade Cosmopolitan. Super vibrant pink, you guys, and I took it on a big old fluffy brush and just put it all under my lower lashes. So for the inner corner, I went in with the shade Water Slide from the Ace Beauty palette, and that was basically it, you guys. I went ahead and added some lower lash mascara, and that is it. This eye look is complete. So to go ahead and set all this hard work in place, I did test out the new Milk Makeup Gripping Setting Spray. You guys, this spray was so good. So as you guys can see, you do need to shake it up pretty well. I did test the spritzer because I did not want to ruin today's look. It was great. It also didn't smell like anything. So I went ahead and drenched my skin in this, and then I did go ahead and dry it down with my BABYYYY fan. And you guys, that was basically it. This is my full face of new makeup. So now I'm going to go ahead and jump into me giving you guys my final thoughts on everything I showed you in today's video. Okay, you guys, so I went off camera. I did my lips. Of course, you guys see me set my face with the Milk Makeup new setting spray. So I just want to give you guys my final thoughts and what I think was amazing and what I think you can kind of pass on. So let's start with the palettes, of course. So obviously, as you guys saw by the video, this Nostalgia palette from Ace Beauty is just beautiful, you guys. This is definitely a must-have. If you love eyeshadow, if you love colorful shadows, this is definitely going to be something that you are gonna love. They performed so well. The colors were so pigmented, so blendable. So that one is definitely a yes. As far as the Beauty Bay Bright Matte Palette, you guys, this is also definitely something I highly recommend you pick up. Like I said, for the price point, for it only being $20 to $25, you honestly cannot beat the price. You get so many colors in here, you guys. It is incredible. I will leave a link down below to this exact palette in case you guys are interested and want to check it out. It is freaking beautiful, and guys, the pigment was crazy. Next up, we have the Urban Decay All Nighter. This is their Face Primer Dewy Foundation Grip Primer. Super long name. Basically, it's their dewy gripping primer. This I loved, you guys. I think it feels really nice on the skin. My skin feels really smooth. It looks really beautiful up close as well, and I did love the way it got tacky. I wouldn't say it's the tackiest gripping primer I've ever used, but it did have a nice grip to it, and my foundation went on beautifully. I had no problems, no patchiness, and I do feel like my skin looks really nice and dewy in today's video. So I would definitely say that the primer definitely does what it says it's going to do. So I definitely love that. Let's talk about this blush palette from NARS for a second. So I had been super excited to get my hands on this. I actually got it on sale. When it launched, I wanted it, but I didn't get it because, girl, NARS palettes are super, super expensive. I think these palettes are about $59, which I'm like, do I really want to spend the money? Obviously not, because I waited until it was on sale. But this is what the blush palette looks like, as you guys saw in the video. And to be completely honest, I would pass on this. I don't think it's completely worth it. I feel like I really had to rub my brush in here to get any pigment whatsoever, which I don't prefer. I like more of a pigmented blush, if that makes sense. So I don't know about that. I'm going to pass on that. This is as intense the blush was getting. So that's basically it as far as the blush. I feel like it does look pretty on the skin, but like I said, do I recommend it? Not for the price. Unless you can get it on sale, I would say just pass on it. As far as the concealer, you guys, I'm honestly blown away at this concealer. Like, I can't believe that I waited so long to try this. It looks beautiful. My under eyes look flawless. They look airbrushed. I am obsessed. And the color is perfect. So I don't know if I mentioned the color, but if I didn't, I did use the shade 2.3. Guys, if you are on the market for a new concealer, please pick this one up. It is so good. Like, just from blending it out, I was like, oh, that's it. Like, I love this. I know right off the bat if I love a concealer or if I hate it, and this, I love it. It is so, so good. So definitely that was one of the major gems in today's video. Besides that, the Makeup Forever Pro Light Fusion Undetectable Luminizer in the shade 02 was beautiful as well. Obviously, you guys can see she is super blinding. Definitely a beautiful highlighter. It's not chunky. It's very smooth. I really do like it. The ColourPop bronzer, I was super surprised with as well. It kind of looked really light in the package, but as you guys saw when I applied it onto the skin, it did show up on my skin. It was really beautiful. I do really love the formula of the actual bronzer, but like I said, I just feel like the color was just not for me. But yeah, I think that was pretty much everything in a nutshell for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm actually really happy with the way this look turned out. Like I always mention in all of these first impression testing new makeup kind of videos, it can either go super amazing like today, or it can become a disaster if one product goes wrong. So I'm happy that today's video was a success, and we definitely tried out a lot of new goodies and a lot of things that I can already tell are going to definitely be staples in my collection. So that's basically it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!